Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Family Health Matters. Today we're talking about stroke. And if you have a question or comment, feel free to give us a call. We only have about 5 minutes in our studio right now, but we'll try to squeeze you in if you give us a call. With us today as our panelist is Dr. Manahar, and Dr. Manahar is from the Heart and Wellness Institute here in Grand Rapids. And did I say your title correctly?
Well.
Okay.
Thank you.
And unless I have it written out completely in front of me, you know, I have a hard time remembering.
You
but
did a great job.
Dr. Manahar has been with us many times before to talk about heart disease and stroke, and prevention is really the key here, both with stroke and heart disease. So again, let's talk about our risk factors for stroke. Dr. Manahar, what are they?
And these risk factors are really ones that we can work on and help make stroke preventable. So high blood pressure, diabetes, smoking, abnormal cholesterol, poor body composition, physical inactivity, stress.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, when we talk about high blood pressure, and a lot of folks have it and are being treated for it successfully, does that help lower our risk then?
It absolutely does. Depending on the degree of high blood pressure, it can increase your stroke risk by 1.5 to 3 times, and that can be reversed too with good treatment.
Okay. And again, the symptoms of a stroke, what are they?
Symptoms of a stroke. Anytime, I would like to say, because stroke is so prevalent, that anytime you think something isn't right, the safest thing is just not waste any time, go to the emergency room. But some of the common symptoms are that you lose control of a limb, an arm or a leg. That arm or leg might become numb or tingly, like you've sat on it for too long. You might lose the ability to pronounce words properly. You're slurring your speech, you can't get the words out right. You might understand what you want to say, but it might not come out at all. You might not understand what someone else is saying. You could lose your balance, have some visual changes. All of these are signs and symptoms of stroke.
Okay. And it's important to get to the hospital, to the emergency room right away, because...
Critical. Within 1 hour, do not delay. You must be there within 1 hour of your symptoms, otherwise you might not qualify for potentially stroke-saving treatments.
Because what we're trying to do here is prevent damage from a stroke.
Yes.
And once that damage occurs, for example, some people experience partial paralysis after a stroke. Can any of that be recovered?
It can be recovered. Not for everybody, but it can be recovered. So oftentimes after a stroke, besides medical therapy, you might often hear of stroke survivors going for rehabilitation. And the rehabilitation can help with some of that stroke recovery.
Okay, but it can be a long uphill battle to recover some of those, things that you used to do, the ability to write or walk or
so
even
ideally,
eat.
if we can prevent, that's always the best thing.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about diet when we're talking about stroke prevention. What do you recommend as a good diet?
There are some key things in our diet. First of all, things in our diet generally that will help lower the blood pressure are important. We'll go over a whole list in a minute. The second key thing would be things that help lower our cholesterol. And the third key thing would be parts in our diet which would be antioxidants. Things to help prevent inflammation or rusting of our vessels will help decrease risk of stroke. So specifically, things that those would include would be lots of low-cal fresh fruits and vegetables, berries, oranges, papayas, pomegranates, broccoli, asparagus. Garlic, we all kind of know about, is both a blood thinner and helps with antioxidation. Soy, if you can take it, also can help.
Okay. We're going to have to wrap up our segment together. Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Manahar.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure to have you with us. We've been talking about stroke today on Family Health Matters, and we appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day. See you next time.
Support by the Heart and Wellness Institute, caring for you and your family's hearts and well-being. The Heart and Wellness Institute, delivering compassionate, world-class care.